All right, NASCAR family. We are 2 races away from the chase, and this Sunday at New Hampshire, every single car is going to run the exact same 301 laps, chasing the exact same checkered flag. But here's the thing. What actually counts as a good Sunday is going to look completely different depending on where you sit in the standings. Let's break it all down. And hey, real quick, if you are a true NASCAR fan like me, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to the channel. NASCAR Nation News is just getting started. We are pushing for our next subscriber milestone, and it's all about real talk from fans who live this sport every week. All right, let's get into it. Let's start at the back of the chase picture because that's where the margin for error is thinnest right now. Shane van Gisbergen currently holds that 16th and final chase spot, and he's got a 50-point cushion over Ryan Preece. That's his buffer heading into Sunday, so what does that actually mean for each of them? For SVG, Sunday isn't about chasing a win. It's about damage control. His whole job is keeping Preece from putting a serious dent in that 50-point advantage. Meanwhile, for Preece, the mission is the exact opposite. He needs to close that gap, and he needs to close it enough to give himself a realistic shot at stealing that final chase spot when the regular season wraps up at Daytona. You know, it's easy to overlook a battle for 16th place when there's a race for the win happening up front. But for these 2 drivers, this weekend could shape their entire playoff run. Now let's move up to standings because the story changes completely. Chase Elliott and Christopher Bell have already punched their tickets to the chase. They're locked in, and right now they're tied at 695 points apiece. So for these 2, getting in isn't the problem anymore. That box is checked. What happened next in their situation is that the focus shifted entirely to seeding. It's now about improving where they'll actually start once the points reset for the playoffs. However, there's one more storyline at the top that might be the biggest of the day. Denny Hamlin is playing a completely different game than everyone else this weekend. He arrives at New Hampshire 115 points ahead of Ryan Blaney, and that gap gives him a real chance. A chance to lock up the chase's #1 seed before the field even gets to Daytona. Here's his magic number for Sunday, 37 points. That's it. If Hamlin gets to 37 points on the day, the #1 seed is officially his. No committee, no debate, just math. So let's recap where things stand. SVG is defending a 50-point cushion over Preece for that final spot. Elliott and Bell are tied at 695, both locked in and battling for playoff positioning, and Hamlin needs just 37 points to clinch the top seed outright. 3 completely different battles, all happening on the same racetrack, on the same day. At first glance, the win will always grab the headlines. It always does. But this Sunday, some of the most important racing might be happening nowhere near the front of the field. They'll all take the same green flag together. But a good Sunday is not going to look the same for any of them. Now switching gears here for a second, let's talk about something that's been getting a lot of attention away from the points battle. Carson Hocevar's number 77 car is going to be hard to miss at New Hampshire this weekend. We're talking pink hearts, kisses, and Philly lettering across the paint scheme. And it's already turning heads before it's even hit the track. You know what's interesting? That attention might end up being the biggest win for this scheme before a single lap is run. If you've been following the social media breadcrumbs between Hocevar and creator Tabitha Swatosh, that Philly lettering probably looked familiar. Swatosh has been sharing that same lettering for a while now, and fans have spent weeks trying to piece together exactly what's going on between her and the man she still refers to as NASCAR guy. And that's when it clicked for a lot of people. Whether every single Easter egg was intentionally building toward this reveal or not, the result is something companies spend a lot of money trying to manufacture. People talking. Hocevar has noticed the reaction too. In a Facebook post, he shared that signing off on such a heavily feminine paint scheme got him some weird looks. But he also said one of the coolest reactions has come from female fans who are genuinely excited about the car. And that's where this becomes bigger than just a pink race car. Sports fandom doesn't always start with the sport itself. Sometimes it's a personality, a creator, a relationship, or even a paint scheme that gives someone a reason to pay attention in the first place. We've already seen that play out on a massive scale with Taylor Swift and the Kansas City Chiefs. Travis Kelce's merchandise sales jumped nearly 400% after Swift's first Chiefs appearance. But the real lesson there wasn't about jersey sales. It was that an entirely new audience suddenly had a reason to care about football. The scale here with Hocevar is obviously different, but the opportunity works the same way. Someone who follows Tabitha might now know who drives the number 77, and someone invested in NASCAR guy now has a reason to pay attention when he takes the green flag on Sunday. NASCAR doesn't need every new fan to fall in love with racing right away. Sometimes it just needs to give them a reason to look. So here's my question for you. Between SVG and Preece fighting for that last chase spot, Hamlin chasing the number 1 seed, and Hocevar's paint scheme pulling in new eyes, which storyline are you most locked in on heading into Sunday? Drop in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like this video and subscribe to NASCAR Nation News so you never miss a race weekend with us. We'll see you at New Hampshire.